I was in the classroom, some of my students were asking me, Sam, what is it that every time you're writing something on your notebook, what do you mean of that? I'll just smile. I won't tell them the meaning because I know what that thing means to you. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. So you have to define your goal. Where are you heading to? No matter what the profession you want to study or develop yourself in, you have to have a focus. You have to have a vision of what you are pursuing. So for me, I developed an initial goal. That is the first thing I did in my life that helped me. I developed, but this is not the one I use. Okay, I don't want to tell you my own initial goal. I'm still working with it. I'm just like a reagent in the chemistry lab that is still undergoing some chemical process. So I haven't arrived yet. I'm still in the lab, but I'm still working on myself. You know what I mean? So I haven't achieved my goal yet. So I'm still working on it. Yes. But at this level I have achieved, it's always good to share stories about how we started. How about yesterday? So, in so, laser. Who knows the meaning of laser? What is the meaning of laser?
The light amplification for the...
Yes, light amplification.
For the stimulating
Stimulating
of emission. For stimulated emission.
Of what?
Radiation.
Of light, yeah, you got it. So, this solar cell, solar slicer, this slicer is using this laser beam to cut the cell, okay? And that the slicer is that white one over there you can see. So what if you look at this is the male and this is the female. The male is the female. The disc is the male. Two of them have to work together to make paper plate. This one. To make this. To make this. Now, if you look at that our flyer there, you see that we are making different types of. Okay, let me show. Hold on, let me show you. Wow. So this is the final product. This is how it is. So this is the final product that we made from this machine. We have about 6 plants that we're making with this single machine. What do we do to get those 6 plants? So what we do is that the female and the male parts will be changed from time to time. You're gonna see we have a bolt here. When you're losing this bolt, first of all, we're gonna lubricate it. When you're losing this bolt, this male disc comes out. The male disc comes out, and then we go to our stores to take the one we need to move. Let's say if you look at that board, look at that green notice board there. Yeah. You see that green notice board there? We have different papers there. Can you see them? Paper plates there. So anyone we want to make, we will just remove this male disc here, change the mold, the female. This is the male, this is the female. This is the male, this is the female. Now when we change it and we put the mold and the disc for that one we want to do, we tighten it and we do it, it comes out. So that shape. So why I have this shape here is because the disc here is 9 inches. This one is 9 inches. That's why this one is giving me 9 inches. All right? So if you look down here, there are 2 pedals that we use here. Those pedals are what you step on. When you step on it, it will land on the female to cut this. It's very hot when it starts working. So it's coming with a very good hot temperature and speed to hit on these to give you this shape. Then in this paper, we have what we call grammages of thickness. The thickness varies. Why do we talk about thickness in this? Why we talk about thickness is that I move it from this station to this station so that they can solder it. If you look here, you can see some of the cells are being soldered. You can see some of these cells are being soldered. You can see. So there are 3 wires that we use to make solar panel. One is leading, solar leading, solder leading. One is bus wire and one is tap wire. This one is a tap wire. We call this tap wire. So this tap wire, we don't produce them in Nigeria. We have to buy them from overseas as well. But living is here in Nigeria. We have living in the main market. So living tab wire and bus wire, BUS, bus wire. So these three wires are what we use in making solar panels. The difference, somebody asked the difference. Now watch. If you look at this, you see that this is a little bit thicker than soldering ribbon. I will show you a soldering ribbon. Soldering ribbon is this one. Now this one is a soldering ribbon, but this is a tab wire. This one, the diameter of this is smaller than the thickness of it. Now watch. I don't know if you know what's the Ohm's law. Ohm's law. You know Ohm's law. What does it say about resistance? You are closer to it. You can tell me what Ohm's law talks about thickness and area of a conductor. About the area and thickness of a conductor. Who can tell me?
The more the length, the more the area, the more the resistance. The more the length, the lesser the resistance.
Perfect. So if you look at this now, this is the soldering ribbon. This is the tab wire. So that tells you this one has higher resistance than this one. So the first one you use to solder your PV cells is this one because it has smaller resistance. Okay? This one is thicker. This one has bigger resistance. So now, when you use that to solder that, before you now use this now, as you are connecting to more PV cells, you use a bigger one. The other one is the box wire, the tab wire. Whereas this is the box wire. So you move from leading to tab to bus. Leading to tab to bus. Bus is the bigger one because it's like expressway. The voltages are many now. You need to make a big way for them. That is why we use the bigger conductor. Does it make sense? You understand it? But when the voltage are small, which is the voltage coming from the cell, you use the leading. When it passes the leading, the next conductor you're going to use is tab wire. After that, when you now have bigger, so many numbers of PV cells, you now use what? Bus wire. So after here, when they are finished soldering and connecting all of them, then we now go to the laminator. We're now on the fourth stage, laminator. So let's go closer to that. Let's go this way. Now we put it on this solar tray. You can see it's movable. Then we put it from there. This will move over there. Sorry. Then we'll move this over there. Hey. You can see that we always put our top inside there like this. The solar that we already soldered and is ready to be laminated. We always say we are cooking it. But it has so much heat. Yes. That is why we're using 200 kVA transformer here for this. Otherwise, it will not work. You need higher voltage. So we have a generator that is also 200 kVA generator. I will have 33 kVA. This one is 33 kVA. For us to be able to power this. But can solar power this solar light? No. We cannot. Because when I want to power this place with solar light, I can power this whole roof will not serve. If I cover the whole roof with a solar panel, it will not serve. I need twice this roof, and I don't have another space. Because my idea was like, we will be powering this with our own solar panel. Yeah. But we require a farm, like a solar farm. You know what I mean by solar farm?
Yes.
So we asked these guys to sell this land to us. They said no, they don't want to sell it. Yeah. So we're now constrained by staying where we are. So that is why we now bought the generator over there at the back.
Yeah.
So we now put the solar panel. It hasn't been laminated at that time. Okay, now let me tell you something. At this unit, we have three things that work with it. The compressor. This compressor, you might have seen vulcanizers using this. Okay. Now this is 2 horsepower compressor at 1,500 liters. Now we have a vacuum pump here. There's a vacuum pump. That blue stuff there, that blue machine there is a vacuum pump. So the vacuum pump the vacuum pump, that blue one over there, and this compressor and the laminator, 3 of them work in synchronism. They work together. Without 3 of them working together, the lamination cannot work, cannot go on. And then the command that you will use to initialize this machine is there on the console. You know what is console? a kind of a screen. When you put it on, you issue the command. So with that command, you can start and do the work. Alright? Without those commands, if you don't know how to do the command, you cannot operate it. So what we normally do is that we tell people how to issue the command. You can see why the program is important.
Yeah.
Do you see why it's important?
Yes, sir.
So there are some commands that are non-executable. There are some commands that are executable. So when you put the console on, this is the console, the screen here. So when we put it on, this screen, it's unfortunate that we cannot stay for them to laminate that one. And if they want to stay, you will see how it's done. But I don't know when if they are ready, because you can't just start cooking it when it is not ready. Because once you cook it, you cannot recover it. If you cook it and cook it wrongly, you cannot recover it. It's gone. If you didn't get it well, the solar laminator is damaged. You throw it away. So they are still doing their testing and finishing it to be well. They will test it before they will now laminate it. Now there's something we do testing and quality control. If you look at that table where they're working, you see that there are lights underneath. There are fluorescent lights underneath. Look and tell me, why do we put lights down on the table? Why do we have the electricity, the lights, fluorescent tubes on the table? Why do we have them on? You can tell me. What do you think should be the reason?